It was a splendid morning on the island of Sodor. James was feeling very pleased with himself. His red paint gleamed in the sunshine as he sped along the line. He reached the junction just as Percy puffed in with some freight cars. James was surprised to see him. Sighed Percy. And James puffed importantly away. Muttered Percy. James arrived at the harbor. It was market day. The harbor yard was filled with the sweet smell of fruit from faraway lands. The fruit was delivered in big ships. James watched as strawberries, oranges, melons, and bananas were carefully loaded onto his cars. Then he set off for the station on the main line. On the way, he met Thomas. Panted James. Gasped Danny and Clarabelle. Percy was back in the yard and busy shunting. He had the cars in good order and was making up for lost time. But the station master had bad news. Asked Percy's driver. Percy quickly set off to the rescue. James was stuck on the line and looking glum. Percy couldn't help laughing. Said the driver. James angrily hissed steam as Percy was coupled to the cars. Said Percy. Called his driver, but Percy was in a hurry. He didn't see that the switch had failed and that he had been diverted into a siding. Shouted his driver and applied the brakes, but it was too late! The driver and fireman had jumped clear, but squashed fruit squirted all over Percy. Sir Topham had arrived, and Percy squelched sadly away. That night, the shed was silent. James and Percy felt very sorry for themselves. At last, Thomas spoke. He said to No Engine in particular. Still there was silence. Said a voice. Then came a chorus.